welcome, Kristina. Thank you so much for volunteering to present. It's really special to have a student presenting this week. And we're really lucky that you're sharing this with us, and we're very grateful. So it's my honor to welcome Kristina. Kristina is part of Balakun, and she's the head of the NGO To Be, and she has curated an exhibition called The Bloom of Memory, a traveling exhibition created by mothers, wives, daughters, and sisters of Ukraine's fallen and missing heroes. Through personal belonging, textile collages, installations, and video stories, it shows us what memory looks like when it grows through loss. And as Kristina puts it, it's what love looks like when it seeks continuation. So, Kristina, thank you so much for trusting us and sharing your work with the community. And we're really glad that you're here. And I'll leave it to you. Thank you.
First of all, let me just say thank you. Thanks Balakun community and to all the mentors and people who support Ukraine. It really means a lot to me personally, and I believe to a lot of Ukrainians too. And I would like to say that it's actually, this idea came to my mind right after I presented this exhibition virtually to Amanda, and she is my mentor. And I'm really happy that I did it because it was really meaningful for me, and it is really meaningful to the authors of the exhibition because I shared with them kind words from Amanda, and it's really important for them that people remember their heroes not only in Ukraine but abroad. And what we will have today would be really special too, because right now it's like these small bulbs and seeds of the memory will spread all over the world, and it's really beautiful. And I invite you to join this space of memory, and of course the topic will be connected to the topic of loss and pain, but I invite you to think about this exhibition, about this experience more in the focus of love, light, and hope and memory, because it is a driving force that really is moving through this exhibition. So please remember about the love and passion, about the dreams as the driving force of the exhibition. And it was already mentioned before, but this exhibition was bring together with 17 women who experienced loss of their beloved ones during the war. And it was created as a synergy project with grief specialists, artists, and curators. So we really did it all together. And we used a tool called Legacy Projects, and this one is artistic work that preserves the values, passions, dreams, and humanity of those who are no longer physically present. There are words from Ukrainian poet Maxim Kravtsov, and he said, "When I'm asked what the war is, I will answer, it is the names, and I will answer without hesitations." And it is important to remember those names and to spread the word about these people, because it's not only numbers. Those were real people with their ambitions, with their dreams, and with their families. And one more thing that I would like to mention, that this project was supported by Partnership for Resilient Ukraine. And if there are any people from United Kingdom, Estonia, Canada, Norway, Finland, Switzerland, and Sweden, so I would like to say that actually this project was supported by those countries. So if you are representing these countries, I would like to say thank you personally as the representatives of these countries. And to go to get you a little more information how the project was created, it was really co-created with the women. It wasn't like my idea or anyone from my NGO idea, oh wow, let's make it like about flowers, let's call it Bloom of Memory. No, it was really a mutual process, and it was created collectively. We gathered together in January 2020 6. There is a mistake in the slide, sorry. This year. And if if you're communicating with your mentees, you know that this winter was really complicated because of the Russian attacks on the electricity systems. So it was really very cold and sometimes very dark because of the electricity shortages. But anyway, we still managed to get together in Verkhovina, it's Carpathian Mountains, and we did these first meeting sessions to get to know each other, to talk more about their heroes. And sometimes we illuminate our discussions with our flashlights on our phones, but still we were all in this place together. And we communicated a lot with these women about what they think, what is memory. Uh, which associations with memory do they have? And a lot of people actually answered that flowers. Flowers for them really represent memory. Why so? Because memory is also something that we should take care of. We also should plant metaphorically memory as we plant flowers, and we really should nurture these memories as we nurture flowers. So that is the reason why flower and why the bloom of memory is a symbol of and the name of our exhibition. And I already said that this exhibition was curated with mothers, wives, daughters, sisters, and fiancés of fallen and missing heroes and heroines. And as I said before, it emerged from the experience of loss, but its driving force is love seeking continuation. And as Sandy already told you, these works are really very unique and very different. When people ask me, okay, but what is your exhibition about? What media do you use? Are those like pictures or photos? I'm saying no, it's actually, you cannot label this exhibition as something one because it's really very unique. We didn't put any limitations on legacy projects of our participants, so they were all very different, from their personal belongings to paintings, sculptures, textile collages, installations. You will see a little bit more later. But what I'm trying to say is that they are very different as they try to capture this individual experience. And the most important idea that they put in their works is trying to commemorate and honor their beloved ones through their dreams, their plans, their ambitions, and their passions from their civilian lives. So I invite you to join this virtual space. Of course, I would like you to visit this exhibition in Kyiv, but unfortunately we haven't this experience and we can have it virtually. So I invite you in this place. And maybe some of this work will remind you something who is no longer with you. Maybe it can evoke some quiet and gentle sadness. And maybe it can show you that memory takes root, blossoms, and remains with us. And I would like to start with this legacy project. This one is dedicated to Serhiy Zayats. It's from Vinnytsia Oblast. Serhiy is actually one hero from our exhibition that is missing in action. This statue is very special because unfortunately his mother, Lena Zayats, still don't know anything about his fate. So what you see here is 3D maquette of gymnasium. But why gymnasium? You can ask me and I will answer. It is because Serhiy used to doing sport in his small village, but unfortunately there were no space for it in the village. So he used to go into neighbor town just to do this exercise. And he was really brilliant in it. He had a lot of medals and he won a lot of competitions in it. But his dream was to build gymnasium in his village because he said, Mom, children in our village should have the rights to do sports here as well. So it was his dream, but now his mother, while she is still waiting for him, she's building this beautiful gymnasium, and it's basically 3D maquette of how it would look like. So it will be like that in the future. We really hope that this future will be very soon. And she's taking care of this building to be accessible for all people, including people with disabilities, because she explains that this space can be also a space not only for children but also for people with disabilities, veterans, and family members of militaries. So it's a very special 3D maquette. Another work was also created by Olena Zayats, and it is a legacy project dedicated to her son, but this one is more to show the state of ambiguous loss. You may see here a near to perfect picture. A family is sitting here and having their dinner, but this picture is interrupted with a question mark. And this question mark is to symbolize the state of unknown, the state of uncertainty, when you don't know what is with your closest ones. And here you can also see a very tiny picture of Serhiy. That's how he looked like. And a very special detail about this work too is that this fragment of cloth is actually a fragment of his shirt he used to wear on his graduation. So it's made from his personal clothes, and it's really very special. Another legacy project is dedicated to Alexander Bevs, and it was created by his mother, Larissa Zazula. And this one is very special too. And please, I I I'm saying that this one is special, this one is special. They're all special. Don't like, it's not that I'm saying that some works are special, some are not. They are all special, but in their very own way. This work is special because it's to honor the already existent legacy project, and it is dedicated to Alexander Bevs. Alexander Bevs was a huge fan of music, and he would like to become a DJ. But as you know, when kids come to mom and say, "Mom, I would like to be a DJ," what mom would say in most cases, rather no, please try to find something more serious. So that was the case with Larissa and Alexander. Alexander went and studied at administrative courses, but he still didn't give up on the idea to become DJ. He created music, and even when he joined Armed Forces of Ukraine, he still continued to do records, to record videos with his music, and he sent some music pieces to his mom. And unfortunately, when he died, his comrades sent his mother his personal belongings, and in the armor, she finds this note. You cannot see it, but in this note, Alexander wrote about his dreams, but in the present time, like these dreams are already fulfilled. And one of the dreams was, I'm having my own recording studio. I'm creating music that a lot of people are dancing and smiling and being happy to. So that was a moment when his mother, Larissa, decided that that would be her aim for now, and she created a recording studio. She invited people from specialists from all over Ukraine and also abroad to consult how it's better to do this record studio, how better to ensure the isolation of the sound. And now this is the studio that it fully functioned in Nemiriv, and it's called Aleba because Aleba was a pseudonym of Alexander Bevs. So it's really a beautiful installation to give you the idea how the studio looks like and how Alexander used to look like. But here you can also see another two pictures, and they are pretty similar, but they are made in different techniques. This one is painting, and this one is actually a textile collage too. This is to symbolize the soul of Alexander, and if I will just zoom it, you can see it better. So this bird has a note right behind him, and it symbolizes music is something that's still alive even after his death. And it also depicts two conditions of the weather. This one is to symbolize spring, because spring was a time when Alexander was born, and this one symbolized autumn, because autumn was unfortunately the time when Alexander died. And I will zoom to this picture because this one is also textile collage, but all of these are made from Alexander's personal belongings, from tablecloths she used to have dinner on, from his shirts, t-shirts, from his trousers, from his socks. So all of these tiny details are his personal clothes. So we will go to another legacy project, and this one was created by Margarita Machno, daughter of Pavlo Machno. Pavlo Machno was a defender that actually was participating in Russian-Ukrainian war since 2014. So he used to go there when it used to called ATO, anti-terrorist operation, and when full-scale invasion began, he already knew what to do, and he went as a volunteer. What Margarita did is she created comics to commemorate her father and to commemorate all of this nice and warm memories about her father, about her childhood, about the questions, whom do you like more, mother or father? And this is a very moving comics made all by her own hands. And this is a portrait of her father, Pavlo. This legacy project is dedicated to Ivan Smoharjevsky, and it was made by Tatiana Smoharjevska, but also with Lyubov Smoharjevska, the mother of the hero. Tatiana is the wife of the hero, and she created this comics book, but it's also very unusual because it contains not only the pictures, but also some elements of textile work. So they are all very, very different techniques being used in these books. And the book is to tell the story of Ivan as a fighter, as a person who really defend his own country, and as a person who really was a fan of the history of Ukraine. He was so into history that he actually named their son Svetoslav in the name of one of the key heroes of our story, Svetoslav Horobry. So this legacy project is dedicated to commemorate Ivan as a brave soldier he used to be, and as a huge patriot he also used to be. This legacy project is created by Anna Loy, fiancée of Dmytro Baba, and actually one of Dmytro's dream was to create it with these patches, military patches, and Anna realized his dreams by creating these patches, and they all tell the story of their love, their connection, and Dmytro's story too. Actually, Dmytro's military pseudonym was Caesar, and when I asked why, she said because he has Cleopatra at his home, his cat. He was very into cats, he was very caring, he had his military dog he used to work with, and he was really taking care about all the animals, even at front lines. So this is to commemorate his story. And here you can also see the ocean, and it is also very special because Dmytro's dream was to see the sea. And then Anna asked, why are you talking about sea? Think bigger, think even more global, think about the oceans. But unfortunately Dmytro died and he hadn't a chance to see ocean. So now Anna is fulfilling his dreams. She visiting seas and oceans, and she trying to show them through her own eyes, to him. And when she first sees the ocean, she thought that it is very similar to his eyes. So now her dream is to see all the oceans just to compare which one is the most similar to his eyes. So this one is not only the story about Metro, but also the story of their love. This legacy project is dedicated to Stanislav Perevera and was made by the hands of Oksana Leshenko, his wife, and it's actually one that consists a lot of personal belongings, military and civilians. Here you can see some benches, branches. It's just because Stanislav used to do gardening, and here you can also see some metal elements because Stanislav used to work with automobiles in civilian life. But here you can also see some military belongings. They are mostly original here, but there are copies of his medals and also copy of the letter. He wrote Oksana the letter, very moving, very emotional one, about how he missed her, about how he would like to come back to her. And this was a letter he wrote to her when he was in 2019 at the front line. So he also joined the armed Ukrainian forces after 2022, rejoined, sorry, because he used to go there at the very beginning of the Russian invasion on Ukraine. And when some people say that men are not emotional, this letter actually proves them wrong, because men can also be emotional and they have all the freedom to do so. This legacy project is dedicated to Boris Bashchenko and was made by Tatiana Bashchenko. Here you can see a lot of flowers, and this one was actually made by her own hand, and this textile collages with flowers also was made by herself. And actually, when people come to this exhibition, they think that it's furniture, but it's not. It's actually part of Legacy Project too. And just to say, Boris was a really good plumber, and he knows how to do it really well. So when Tatiana thought about the way how can she commemorate Boris, she find a video on TikTok that you can make from this plumber equipment the table. And she made not only the table, but also the vase for the flowers and also the pictures. In the vase, here are 50 white roses, and they all symbolize 50 years Boris spent on this earth. And this one, you can also see that it depicts blue and yellow flowers to symbolize Ukrainian flag and Boris patriotism. This legacy project dedicated to Igor Matejchik, and it was created by Victoria Matejchik, his wife. And actually, it can remind you touristic map, and that's not a coincidence. Actually, Igor and Victoria Matejchik loved to do tourism. They go camping, and actually, that was the place where they met together, and it was actually the place where they spent a lot of time together with their kids too, even when they were very, very little. So when Victoria thought about Legacy Project, she decided to create this touristic map, but not with the concrete places where he'd been, but with his photos and with his, let's say, roots of his life. Actually, Igor Matejchik was also a huge patriot, and he was also educator. He raised a lot of kids, and he actually took care about patriotic education. He wrote a lot of articles on this topic and books on this topic too. This legacy project dedicated to Anton Tupchi and was made by Valeria Tupchi, his sister, and it depicts three stages of his life: civilian, footballist because he was a sportsman, and sorry, I can hear someone. Oh, that's okay. And also militarists. So as you can see here, the main accent focus here is football because it was one of the hobbies of Anton. After the death of Anton, his family decided that they should create commemoration event to him, and they created a football event in the memory of Anton. And that's actually T-shirts that participants of these events are getting when they participate in this event. And actually, our exhibition is very interactive. So here you can see some medals that people can, pins that people can take with them, and medals too. So people would remember and take part of the story of Anton with them. This legacy project is dedicated to Olha Melster. Olha was a female soldier that died on the front line. And also, Olha was a very creative person. She used to do the pastries, gingerbreads, and she used to teach people how to better do it. She created very unique technology of doing gingerbreads, and she used to do it in different forms, different types. But she also do sculpture. She also did sculpture. Sorry. She also did paintings and jewelry all by her own hands. So she was really very creative. But on this installation, you can see also not only creative part with the embroidery, but also some code, right? And this part of the heart is to resemble Olha's husband, Taras, because Olha and Taras, they both went together to the front lines, and unfortunately, they both died in the one day. So this heart was made by Inha Dudnik, the mother of the heroine, and what she did here is to symbolically acknowledge the story of their love. So this part of the heart resembles Olha, this part of the heart resembles Taras, and how they love together. Here below there is a text that says, this love happens once in never, which means that their love was very special and very unique. This legacy project is also dedicated to Olha Meister, but the previous one was done by her mother, Inha Dudnik, and this one is done by her sister, Katarina Horobets. And as I said to you before, Olha was very creative and very unique. She had different creative passions in her life. So this work is dedicated to commemorating these creations and this creative power. So here you can see wings with all of these materials and all of these tools that Olha used to create all her beautiful works. And in the center of this is, of course, her picture. This legacy project is dedicated to Alexander Kondakov and was created by his mother, Alla Kondakova. Alexander unfortunately died at the very beginning of the not the full-scale invasion, on the very beginning of the Russian invasion in Ukraine. It was in 2014. So unfortunately, Alexander was one of the first servicemen who died on the front lines. And he also used to love doing football. We have some sportsmen in this exhibition to be represented. And when his mother thought about his legacy, what she came up with is to create this football ball, but as a collage with his pictures from military life and from civilian life, and with some phrases that were very symbolically meaningful to him. For example, like never give up, or honor is beyond everything, and so on. And just to say that all anniversary annually in the Kropivnitsky city where Alexander used to live, they also conduct a commemoration event dedicated to him, and it is a football tournament too. So everybody come to play and to remind about Alexander Kondakov. This legacy project is dedicated to Alexei Pashkevich, and these are two works. Alexei was very into airplanes. He actually worked with this as a technician, and he know almost everything about airplanes. And his dream, his passion, he really dream about F-16 because he wanted to try this airplane and he wanted to fly in it. Unfortunately, this dream wasn't realized, so his wife, Nadia Pashkevich, decided that she can commemorate Alexei with recreating the model of F-16, but she was very, very into details. Like she read the books, instructions about the plane. She checked photos and videos just to make sure that this is model that looks like the real one. So it took her like months to do this model actually. And when something was wrong, she was very disappointed, but then looks how beautiful it became. Another work is a map, but with the photos of all the souvenirs she brought back home after his work, because he used to work with airplanes in different countries and different cities. So every time when she came back with some nice souvenirs. And here on the map, you can all see them and learn about them. And of course, on this map, Russia is written as aggressor. This legacy project is dedicated to Yuri Trishuk, and it was created by his mother, Lyudmila Trishuk. And it's actually this embroidery shirt was embroidered by her own hands. She embroidered it for him when he was like in 2016. It was supposed to be his wedding shirt, but unfortunately he wasn't married. So this is just part of his legacy. And this one is also embroidered art. Lyudmila write poems about her experience, about her sounds. She really write a lot of different poems. And this one is Вышила сыночку я сорочку, which means I embroidered shirt to my son. And this poem is also embroidered on this cloth. And this one is also very special because this cloth was a part of legacy from Lyudmila's mother Anna to her. So it's like as 3 generations are represented on this exhibition. This part of exhibition is dedicated to the heroes of Rzhishev Hromada. It's a Hromada where her son and Lyudmila herself came from. This one was dedicated to Evgeny Siyevsky. It's a comics that Evgeny wrote, and he painted all the pictures to these comics too. So unfortunately, it wasn't published when he was alive, but his mother published it after his death. And I would like to also mention that Evgeny Siyevsky was really very talented man. He used to be a documentalist, a photographer, journalist, scientist. He wrote beautiful articles on so many different topics. He was a human rights defender, and he was also very careful about animals, and he was a vegetarian. Even his military pseudonym was vegan because of his principles. So he was very kind man too, and unfortunately also his life was taken by Russians. But still his legacy is with us today, and we can see this beautiful comics written by him. This legacy project is dedicated to Evgeny Krivonohov, made by his mother Natalia Kostichenko, and it names "Memory Has Voice," and it's to save and preserve all the memories about this young and very kind boy. And here are notes written by his own mother hand, and photos also glued to the pages by her own hand. So it's very, very authentic piece of art, but also a piece of legacy. And there are also a lot of poems written by Lina Kostenko included into this zine, because these poems remind and represent how Natalia feels herself in this loss. And last but not the least, this one is a legacy project that we really, every time when we finish our tours, we used to finish it with this art. Because this is legacy project dedicated to Yuri Kostelny and was created by Olga Kostelna, his wife. And it says, "Обійми і посміхнись," which means hug and smile. It was based on the note written by Yuri in his last stay in their house. He wrote this and put it on the fridge without anyone even noticing it. But then when Olga finds this note, she finds it very beautiful way to think about life, and very beautiful way to solve any conflicts that are at the home, and very beautiful reminder of the most important things in our life: hug and smile. And please, whenever you think about some, I don't know, some problems in your life, or maybe about some conflicts or whatsoever, please remember of this philosophy: hug and smile. Sometimes these three words can be really very, very powerful. So that's it from me today. I'm very, very honored to be here with you, and I'm very honored that now 10 more people know more about these beautiful people who gave their lives to defend not only Ukraine, but the whole concept of kindness, the whole concept of freedom and independence. And I really hope that some of you remind their names, their maybe pictures, their faces, and their passions. So thank you so much for your attention. And in case if you have any questions, please do not hesitate. I can answer all of them.